Hello, greetings, nail people. This is weird. So I'm gonna actually look at the YouTube camera because um, it's weird to look at two cameras, and I have to have the other one so I can. Anyway, hello, welcome back to the first reboot, Nails Over Coffee. I am your host, Michelle Cordes Pugh. If it's the first time you're tuning in. Um, Although, to be honest, I could probably drop the Cordis out of my name now because I think we've all figured that out. Um, so, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this, but I'll give more details on that later. But so here's today's cup. Going with an oldie but a goodie for the first one back. So, mornings aren't pretty because let me tell you, when I was up this morning, not pretty. Not pretty. So here we are. Oh, and I'm also wearing one of my favorite entrepreneur shirts, my Hustle and Shine shirt. Kind of what's been going on. Okay, so some of you guys, in fact, most of you probably know this, but I left the nail industry full time in 2017, and I kept doing Nails Over Coffee somewhat, some big deals, some Black Fridays, nail sales, that kind of thing. But it was my attempt to be a responsible grown up and go get a real job, as everybody always told us when we told them we were going to do nails. And in that time, I went and worked at a grocery store. COVID was rad. And I also got my master's degree while COVID was going on, and I worked in a grocery store, and we bought a house. So needless to say, something had to go, and all of my online things kind of had to fall by the wayside. But as I've learned in the last couple of years, that I have ADHD, which we're going to do a whole episode on ADHD and nail techs, because the stuff I found out, you guys are going to love it. Maybe I'll do that. Not the next episode, but the one after. Anyway, so I realized that part of some of the issues I was having was the fact that I had taken away every coping mechanism that I had had in my life. Whoops. Oh, goodness. This chair goes back. I forget that. So I decided to simplify things. My fantastic life partner has been Mr. Nails Over Coffee, has been super supportive, helps that he was self-employed before he was retired, has really helped. Victoria's over on Facebook, and she says she couldn't find me on YouTube. I have to check that out. I have to see what's going on. I know, Victoria, that when I'm streaming on mobile at the beginning, it won't show me to, it only shows me to a limited number of people until I get over 1,000 subscribers. The replays will always be on there. So I might, hi Dana Lynn, I might have to do this simulcast thing for a little bit, so that I can remind you guys to, if you go to YouTube and you search for Nails Over Coffee, Nails Over Coffee archive, you're already a subscriber, huh? Yeah, there's like, I think this channel has like 250 something subscribers. So yeah, if you go to YouTube and search Nails Over Coffee archive, it should come up. And if you're not already a subscriber, you can pound that subscribe button. I'm contemplating, so that's why I'm doing this simulcast, because I know the Facebook Live thing works. However, it does not allow me to download the video like Periscope did. And it was, to be honest with you, it was a huge time suck to download the broadcast and then upload it to YouTube. Upload speeds are so slow that some of those longer episodes would take 2 hours to upload if there was nobody else in the house on the computer. So YouTube seemed like a good way to go, because when the live feed is the live feed was it just archives when it's done and it goes straight to the page, and so kind of eliminating that whole step was kind of a big deal for me. Plus, let's face it, those of us who are older who remember the MySpace days, MySpace was huge, like really huge, and it went away. So I'm not saying that Facebook is doomed or is going to go away. I'm just saying that Google, who owns YouTube, definitely isn't going anywhere. And MySpace was fab. You could have like a song when people went to your page. You could decorate it. Anyway, you totally know I did all that stuff. Like all of us Gen Xers who learned how to code on MySpace. Yeah. But so I decided to go with the YouTube platform. YouTube's not going anywhere. And I'm not willing to bank my livelihood on Zuckerberg. So, as we can all see with what happened with Twitter, shit can change anytime. And well, I'm pretty sure that YouTube's not going anywhere. So, so here I are on YouTube, and I will probably simulcast. Like I said, I'll probably simulcast for a while. I think it's different if I YouTube stream from my webcam. So I'm going to try, my laptop's webcam is total shiest. So I think I'm going to try to find the webcam that I used when I was at university. And because it's good. And if I can stream from my laptop, then there's no restrictions on it. I don't know why that is. But I think what YouTube says about the limits is the reason why they do that is because it makes it easier to shut down things that are bad or inappropriate. So, I mean, I kind of get it. But it's just going to be a hassle while we make the switch. So Mondays at noon. So daily was overwhelming, and we're getting ready to, well, we're selling our house. For those of you who are friends with me on Facebook are, I'm sure, painfully aware. We're selling our house, and we're trying to free ourselves from budgetary restrictions so that I can do University of Nails stuff. So I can do, oh, that would be fun. Hey, Barry. So that I can do all the things. I have so many things going on, and I'm going to write a book. Actually, I have a couple of books and, you know, all that. So trying to, you know, be authentic. And because y'all apparently like listening to me or whatever. I have things to say that people want to hear. I'm also going to do a podcast, but the podcast is going to be significantly more controversial, so to speak. So that's under my A Musing Michelle banner. And yeah, that's going to be a little more off the hook, a little more Michelle in your face about any topic that's not nails, actually. So yeah, so that'll be fun. Victoria has commented, one of my UK peeps. I love having my UK peeps in the room. What up? If we could do Nails Over Coffee over Zoom one day so that we could all be part of chatting together, like talking and all that. Yeah, that would be great. I will have to figure out the logistics of that, because free accounts have a, you know, different set of restrictions and how many people you can have in a room and blah, 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 blah. So I will look into that though. That is a fantastic suggestion. And yeah, then we can have a nails over coffee like nail party. That would be cool. So yeah, I'll try to figure out how that happens. So I'm only planning on doing Mondays at noon for sure. That's my like absolutely for sure committed date and day. However, you are definitely going to want to make sure you follow on Facebook and that you subscribe on YouTube, because what that frees me up to do is go live randomly when there's something cool that comes up. Now, I'll try to keep it in that 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. my time, Pacific time, I should say, because once I'm traveling, living in an RV, who knows what time zone I'll be in. But, and when I move to Spain, eventually I'll be over, because we're seriously considering moving to Spain. I'll be over in, you know, UK's time zone, but I'll try and keep it in the middle of the day, because then that puts it in the evening for you guys instead of the middle of the night. The Australia peeps, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. We're just too far off in time zones. So I'll be closer when I'm in Spain. So what you want to subscribe and follow and everything, because I have a lot. Going on. I know near to you guys in the UK, I'll be able to come visit. Woo, trouble. On YouTube, it should be under the YouTube stream, or the YouTube page is / Nails Over Coffee archive. I didn't want to change that because even though I'm using the channel to go live, it will in fact also be the archived episodes. So I decided to just leave it that way. But it's called Nails Over Coffee, and it says Nails Over Coffee archive is the address. So I'll try to grab the channel from YouTube and share it on the Nails Over Coffee page. It should be the link at the top of the Nails Over Coffee page. That should be the link on there, unless I took the button off during my downtime. So yeah. So as is true with ADHD girl, didn't think this all the way through. Just decided to jump right in. Couldn't wait to get back to y'all. So yeah, I'm going to be kind of working out some kinks. But since I do want to actually talk about something nail related today, not just me. Land the plane. I'm circling the plane. Land the plane. Even though I left the nail industry full time, as a lot of you know, I still have my manicuring license. I have a product that I've been trying diligently for a couple years to get somebody to formulate for me. And it's such a disruptor. I feel like I'm overstating it when I say this, but like Uber to the taxi companies, or things that just really like shake up what's going on. But I can't find anybody to formulate it, because it's that like, so I'm probably gonna have to formulate it myself. So I'm trying to figure out the logistics of that out too. But I have still been, I'm still licensed. I'm currently sitting in a space I use for nails and videoing and everything in my house. I have a personal service license, which is something cool here we have in Washington, so that you can go on site to do people's nails. And so I've still been dabbling. So I've stayed, current and in practice. And so yeah. So I'll go more into like University of Nails future stuff and the other things I have going on at some, later. I'm not just going to drabble on about my shit. But the nail industry. So the big hullabaloo this week is about the European Union banning the use of glitter. Yeah. So I've done a little bit of research on it, not as much as, and a lot of the information will kind of come out in the wash. But the funniest thing I've seen, which my UK peeps are going to love, the funniest thing I've seen is that with Brexit and the UK not being part of the EU, it actually doesn't apply to the UK right now. So that part's cool. But I did find some old posts. Marion Newman posted some many years back that as a reminder to the UK peeps that if it does become a banned cosmetic ingredient in the UK, that automatically makes it prohibited for you guys to use in services until it becomes approved. So that's just a little reminder that it's probably coming. So for right now with Brexit, UK, you're kind of clear. But so in my research, I found some very interesting things, which is one, the conversation has been going on around this. The oldest reference I found was from 1970. Older than me. And it takes a lot to be older than me these days. I'm halfway to a hundo. So, when you guys met me, I was way far away from my 50s, and now I'm there. So that's how long we've been doing this. But so there was some discussion about these microplastics. I mean, starting back as early as the 70s. And so the European Union actually started having the research and investigation done into this while the UK was still part of the European Union before Brexit. The studies for this have been going on for a really long time. And it is an effort to ban what are called microplastics. The ones we most commonly think of are the little exfoliating beads in facial products and like hand scrubs and stuff like that. Now, those were already supposed to be phased out by 2020 in the European Union. So that's part of why they're like, nah, you guys should have already done this, so we're not giving you time. You should have already been done. So if you lose out now, too bad, so sad. But like even over here in the States, we don't ban anything in the States. Like the EU regulations are so much more strict than what we have over here in the States. We're just too individualistic of a culture and capitalist. We don't ban shit. So even we banned the little micro beads in exfoliators in 2015. So this has been coming for quite some time. So everybody was kind of like going, what? I just think that we all, especially in the cosmetics industry, we use glitter so much that we don't even think about the fact that it's a microplastic. It's PET. It's the same thing that makes plastic milk jugs, and it's just colored. And a lot of times it's coated in like an aluminum type product, so that helps make it color stable. So the biggest concern, but before I go any further, so we can also stop with the sky is falling about the glitter thing, because if manufacturers can comply with the restriction that it's not going to make it out into the environment in its normal and typical use, and they provide users with the information on how to properly dispose of said product um, without it getting into the environment. Then, because the biggest concern is the water, fish, and the food chain. It has a huge aquatic impact. So there is some leeway for glitters suspended in gel, for example. Glitter in acrylic polymer powder is a little bit of a gray area because it could be released into the air. It's not suspended in something like it is with gel. So for things like glitter in polish, glitter in gel polish, glitter in lip gloss, glitter in hard gels, there are ways for them to mitigate that. The other part of this is that, so the sale of loose glitter, what we would consider to be glitter, craft glitter, things that school-age children have been gluing to paper as long as there was paper and glue. That's the glitter you're going to see go away like right away. Glitter on decorations. I saw an article that the UK, most of the major retailers have banned, kind of with just separate, but with this, have just kind of all agreed that they're not going to sell Christmas decorations that have loose glitter that can come off this year. It's probably also twofold. They don't want to deal with having one product in the UK and one product that they ship to the EU. So I'm sure there's some of that. But so what we consider to be like glitter is what will go away first over in the EU. And then pretty much everybody else has anywhere from 6 to 14 years to comply, so that they have time to sell out of current stock of things, to reformulate products, and then to redistribute those products. So even the products where it's kind of a gray area because it's in, the glitter's in something, there's time for them to figure it out. So fear not, my German, Italian peeps, just the loose glitter. And you guys will have to check with your own local licensing agencies to find out if the use of the glitter in the salons is going to be banned as a result of the ban. I kind of want to compare it to what we've dealt with here in the States. I know for sure, I don't know as much about overseas. You guys could let me know. But here in the States, when MMA liquid monomer became like such a huge deal, and we had this kind of divide where the low price salons were using MMA and the higher price salons and artists were using EMA, ethyl methacrylate. We sort of had this problem, which, so for quite some time, there was a gray area. It was illegal to manufacture and sell nail products made with methyl methacrylate. It was not, however, banned to use methyl methacrylate in the salon. It was this gray area. The law hadn't had time to catch up yet. So laws and cosmetology boards and regulatory agencies, they didn't have any power to make the salons that were using MMA stop. because there was nothing that specifically said that they couldn't. The ban was on the manufacture and sale. So it took, I don't know, maybe Dana Lynn, if you're still on here, maybe you remember, it took like a long time, a solid 10, 15 years for the laws to catch up. And I don't even know that they're all the way caught up in all the states. But I know here in Washington State, they put a law in our cosmetology administrative code that says the use of FDA banned ingredient products in the salon is against the law, and they can fine you and they can shut you down and all those things. But it took a long time to get there, and it took a lot of us like stomping our feet and being really mad about it. So I feel like everybody is going to continue to be able to use glitter in their salon services for a minute until we get some more clarification. Now I went through and read about, some of the manufacturers of so like the people we call manufacturers, right? I use Tammy Taylor Nails. We call that a manufacturer. C&D, we call that a manufacturer. You know what I mean? Those aren't the manufacturers. Those are the companies that are branding and selling products. There's really very, very few manufacturers in the world. Most of the products that you use come out of a very, very small number of facilities. They might be formulations tweaked and customized, colors custom mixed, obviously different packaging, different labeling, different formulations, obviously, because we do have such a variety of products. But for the most part, there are very few manufacturers. Now, there's quite a few boutique manufacturers in China in those districts. There's, it's a whole nother show. So for people who don't maybe understand how the ordering things from China works, there was a thing that happened in China some years ago that formed these districts in China, which is why if you go search there, you see the same, I don't know how to say all of them, but there's one that starts with a G and one that starts with an S, Shenzhen maybe. I have a lot of them connected on my LinkedIn, that these smaller companies were able to work in these trade zones, and they had access to a huge port, and with Alibaba they have a global reach, and some of them make some really crappy products. Some of them are really quite good, and I bet you would be surprised at how many of the products that we see and use from some of these brands are actually made in some of those facilities. And I can guarantee you, a lot of the electronics that we use, UV lamps and table lamps, implements, are made over there, shipped over here. They're branded over there. So, you get a light and it says, I don't know, who should I throw under the bus? How about you get a light and it says, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. We'll just say back scratchers because they don't really do any UV stuff. So I won't be throwing anybody under the bus. So say you get a UV light that you buy from Back Scratchers to use the Back Scratchers product, and it has the Back Scratchers logo on it and everything. And you buy the lamp for $139. I can guarantee you, because I've seen it, that that lamp without the branding is available on Alibaba directly from the manufacturer to have shipped. And depending on the quantity you buy, the price gets really cheap. So if, for example, I was going to sell a UV lamp to go with my product, which I will probably do, I'll find a distributor, a manufacturer over there, an actual manufacturer. I'll have it customized to my specs. I'll have it made the color I want it to be, the bulbs I want it to be, all of that. And I will order 100 of them. If I order 100 of them, I'm willing to bet you I can probably get the price down to about $15 a lamp. Which means if I sell it for $49.99, I'm still making a ridiculous markup. So yeah. So some of these lamps, so I know that, but I know that some companies, especially the bigger ones, since Sandy's owned by Revlon and OPI is owned by L'Oreal, you know, some of these, the bigger companies, pretty sure it's L'Oreal that OPI is owned by. I better double check that. Anyway, brain fart. Some of these bigger companies, they probably do own their entire supply chain. And so they probably are actually manufacturing some of these products, which can explain some of the difference. So, you know, or if they're manufacturing in, you know, one of the EU countries, or if they're, you know, so there is some of that. So yeah, this is not, the sky is falling. I don't think, with the glitter thing. But of course everybody's completely freaked out. Oh, and there is actually, so since this conversation has been going on, the study that was the basis for this law change was actually started, and it was commissioned in 2017. And they released their findings, I think, in 2018 or 2019. Essie is L'Oreal. OPS Cody. Thank you, Dana Lynn. See, that's why I got to keep y'all right. Keep me honest. Cody. Yes, OPI is Cody. Essie is L'Oreal. Should have known that. The spa that I used to work at, the president and CEO of the spa chain used to be a consultant for L'Oreal. And we used Essie. I should have known that. Or I should have remembered that anyway. I just know that OPI and Sally Hansen are made in the same lab. I do know that for sure. Anyway, but so since this has all been going on for quite a number of years, there's quite a few people who have already been out working on ecologically safe alternatives. So the problem that they have with a lot of them is that they aren't water stable for their color. So, but there is some that are made from some cellulose crystals. There's one that is derived actually from like an algae. So when it goes back into the water, the joke is, it's actually just kind of going home. um, and that and there's a synthetic mica now that's mica powder, which is actually preferable to the natural mica powder, because the natural mica powder is mined in some places that it's really, really bad. I mean, think like blood diamonds bad. So the synthetic mica is obviously preferable anyway. And now they have a synthetic mica that is made from. So when they're talking about things like in cosmetics, they're talking about things like eyeshadows, those type of pigments. There's already some really pretty alternatives. The hardest part is getting the larger chunks, the extra large size is what they're called, is getting those to be color stable in liquids. So getting them to be color stable in a gel, in a nail polish, in an acrylic polymer powder. But my guess is that when all this shakes out, those types of products are probably going to stay. If the manufacturers put together the right guidelines for how to dispose of it when you're not using it anymore. I mean, I guess there's some argument to be made for it being airborne when we file it off for removal. So that might make it not go into hard gel or liquid and powder systems. But for a soak off system like gel polish or regular polish, it's really easy to keep it out of the air. And if you can keep it out of the air, then you can keep it out of washing it off your hands and running it down the sink, and then it goes into the watershed. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it kind of shakes out. So for those of you who follow me on Facebook, on their personal page, you guys all know about Emmy, my dog de Bordeaux, who has her own TikTok, by the way. I haven't uploaded any videos for a while, but she's going to have her own website for affiliate marketing called Big Crazy Dog Life. And she has her own TikTok. She's Emmy the DDB on TikTok. I have literally like 100 videos that I need to edit and get up there. But she just figured out that I wasn't in the room with her. So here she is. Emmy, do you want to come say hi? Do you want to come say hi? Should we say hi? Come here. Come here. Hi. Come here. See, look. There she is. No. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You're not going to come up here and get by the chair with me? You're not going to come up here? You just want the mama to play, huh? So, yeah, she sat down because she wants to scratch her butt. So there's Emmy to follow. Anyway, so I don't think the glitter thing is going to be that big of a deal. The cool thing about using the YouTube platform, so that's why I have to figure out how for you guys to get your notifications. Oh, Victoria can't watch Emmy's puppuccinos because they're slobbery everywhere. Is that with the YouTube option, because it's really streamer friendly, is that I can have guests. So those of you who are here watching this now will know in advance that I will have a guest on live with me for the first time. And my guest, for the first guest ever live broadcast on Nails Over Coffee, is going to be Lisa Wright. She was just at Dana Lynn's event in Massachusetts, the networking event there, and she was at the nail event in the Smokies. She's been out doing the rounds right about now. But Lisa is going to be my first guest. So I've known Lisa for so long. Anyway, so because I've known her like as a friend, like forever, you guys will get a bunch of the backstory during our broadcast. I thought she was the perfect person to have as my first guest ever on Nails Over Coffee. So next Monday at 12 noon Pacific, make sure that you have that like tagged in your calendar so that you make sure you don't miss it, because that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a fun one. I think I might actually even get Mr. Nails Over Coffee to moderate the chat for that one so that I don't have too much going on. But so yes, so Lisa Wright, she is a manufacturer educator and nail tech. And so, yeah, it's going to be a blast. So make sure you mark the thing for that so you don't miss that. Victoria is going to go research you, Lisa. So better watch out. That girl found me from the UK like long before everybody else. Her and Barry and Charlotte, I'd be afraid of their research abilities because they found me in 2015, a really long time ago. So anyway, you know, life's always some drama, and it's, but I'm back, and I have a lot going on. So I'll keep you guys posted as we go. I'll figure out my setup. I'll figure out this YouTube thing. And I'll go live when there's something fun to talk about. I've got some time. But apparently now I just got a notification that I have a house showing request for 3 o'clock, which means they picked, oh, there you are, Victoria, which means they picked literally the first time slot that was available online. So I have to fluff my house now so that it looks good for the showing. All right. Thanks for everybody who joined me live. I also think that my live videos, I can get monetized on Facebook if you give me stars. I don't know how that works, but if you have the option to give me stars and it doesn't cost you guys any money, I would really appreciate some stars. All right. So thanks for joining. As always, hustle and shine, and I will see you for sure with Lisa next Monday at noon Pacific. Bye. I don't know how to stop this. Oh, there we go.